Hey, man. You can park on the street anywhere. Yeah, I'm right in the corner. Right on the corner. Just come through that corner entrance. So. Yep, right on the corner.
The following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
YOLO, infidels, that's right. It's Hacker Hameen.
This is Al Schneer from the band Mo.
Hey, this is Corey Glover from Living Color.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
Live on EC Radio with the Z-Man. So take the pizza out of your fat moron mouth. Sit back and listen before I give you a $5 face slap. You'll never forget, infidels. YOLO.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's EC Radio time. How you feeling? Today's EC Radio episode is fueled by Yerba Mate. It's like my third one today. Crazy. I'm Jack, baby. I love this stuff. I'm fueled by it daily. Every day. I want to give big ups to my friends over at Utica Coffee Roasters. My longtime friend Heather Delia for hooking me up with a nice cold glass of yerba mate. I've been drinking the warm stuff all day, and now I'm switching over to the cold stuff. And watch out, because everything I say might not make any sense whatsoever, because I'm jacked. All right, anyways. How you doing, people? It's Z. It is, what day is today? Tuesday. Huh, I never know what day it is.
I have no idea.
Joining me in the studio today, my old friend, my old rock and roll buddy, man. We played many shows together back in the day. My man Ryan Parr from Bare Bones Strength joining me. Good to see you, bro.
Thanks for having me on, dude. This is awesome.
Thanks, man. Thank you. And you just got done wrapping up a podcast, right?
Yeah, I was actually at Utica Coffee. That's where the yerba mate came from, and I'm on my, I don't know, 4th or 5th cup.
So we're both jacked.
Since noon.
We might wrestle later.
I know. It's on. Let's go.
Watch Ryan Parr kick my ass live on the D today. It might happen. You never know. But it's great to see you, man. You know, the other day I saw you post that video of Autumn Fire at the Oneonta Theater. It was like a couple years ago that happened, and it brought back some great memories.
It was like 7 years ago, if you want to trip down memory lane. I think that was 7 years ago we played at the Oneonta Theater.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Wow. You guys were a staple in the rock and roll community for a while, man. You guys did some great stuff. And in fact, I got to be honest with you, man. The CD still lives in my truck right now.
Yeah? Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's still on regular rotation in mine, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't know if is that okay to be like a big fan of yourself? I guess you should be, right?
Yeah.
If you're not your own biggest fan, then who's going to be?
Right, exactly.
If you don't like your own, can I swear on that?
I prefer it, actually.
All right, sweet. If you don't like your own shit, then who's going to listen to you?
Yeah.
You got to believe it. Yeah.
You do. You got to believe it and get it
Yeah.
out there. But that Autumn Fire CD is kick-ass, man. I still listen to it all the time driving around. And yeah, you guys made some great music back in the day. There was something about your dichotomy with the 5 of you on stage. Like, you guys gelled so well. And just there was just this communication that went on with you guys and the tightness and the community that you guys really had a solid base, you know?
I think I think something we used to talk about a lot was the fact that, like, you see a lot of local bands that get together to play music. Like, oh, you're a musician, you're this, you're a guitar player, let's get together and play. We were just buddies hanging out before any of that. So we were, like, hitting up fires in the fall time, which, by the way, is where that came from. We were like, hey, I like fall fires. Me too. A good autumn fire. And they were like, hey, there's the name.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool about it. That's where the name came from. But so we were buddies before that. So we would just hang out and drink regardless. And we were like, hey, we all play instruments. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of why we just interacted really well.
And you came out with 2 CDs, right?
Yeah, we had 2 studio albums. We played a bunch of Battle of the Bands. We did
Won a bunch of Battle of the Bands.
Did some stuff. Had a good time. All original. We had some covers in there from the beginning. But for those of you guys that don't know, that do know who we were as a band, Autumn Fire, back in the day, kind of stepped onto the scene because of Z, because of the Electric Company. We played that. We've been dying to get in there for a long, long time. And we played the Animals Benefit.
Yeah.
And you heard us there. And then from then on, like, you had a misconception. You thought we were from out of town or something. And then you just helped us. You were like, hey, come play the EC, play the EC. And we just networked from there.
Yeah.
So we owe a lot of that to you, actually.
A lot of fun. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I remember the first time I did see you guys, I was walking in the middle of your set. I had gone somewhere throughout the night, and then you guys had played maybe last or second to last, or it was towards the end of the night. You guys played the Animal Jam. And I walked in, and I'm like, who the hell are these guys? Like, it just blew my mind. And then to find out that you were local and putting out that kind of music was just mind-blowing. And, you know, we became instant boys from then on out, and it was fun. And then, of course, Brass Knuckle and you guys playing together. And
then we had Mason's Revolt.
And Mason's Revolt with Street Rock, too. We did some of those, and we had a lot of fun back in the day. That's for damn sure. So you got the new thing rolling. Not only are you doing your podcast, Bare Bones Strength Podcast. Is that what
Bare Bones Radio on iTunes.
Bare Bones Radio on iTunes. You can find it like iTunes, Google, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
too.
totally. It's on SoundCloud, too. That's who hosts it. So.
SoundCloud.
Yep.
Awesome. So you're doing that, and then also you're doing training sessions, and I feel like, dude, I've been watching your journey, and you're busy, man.
I am. I feel busy.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Busy's good.
Yeah.
So take me through your day. What's happening throughout your day?
So I've been lucky enough to been employed by John Bartholomew across from Mohawk Valley for the last 5+ years. And he's really taken me from kind of during and at the tag end of my music career. I knew that I needed to do something in the fitness world because that's where my passion had always been. And he was awesome enough to take me on and teach me to coach and bring me through that whole process, because I've already been any spare chance I had that wasn't involved in music or actual obligations was involved in learning about fitness and strength and bettering myself and trying out a lot of things that I saw in the industry, which we could talk about that too. And my brand, Bare Bones Strength, is about cutting through a lot of the bullshit that we see.
That's right.
But just down to, like, that's where bare bones comes from, you know? But yeah, so I've coached there for years. I run a ton of the adult classes, and I started to build my business. I guess you can call it. It started out as a intrapreneurship through the gym. He was awesome enough to let me use the space to run what started out as teen programs, built into a website, built into a blog, just trying to help people find a path in fitness and strength. Because I know that when I started, it took me years to get to where I am, because I had to sift through men's health articles and men's fitness and, like, this dude's arm routine and so says that. And it's just, there's a lot of noise out there. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So
and everybody's different too. That's what you got to understand. Like, oh, you're not doing it right, but maybe I'm doing it right for me. Yeah. And you not thinking I'm doing it right, but continue, because everybody's got their own opinions.
You hit it on the head too, because somebody will come up and, what's the best exercise? And be like, for what? Like, who are you? What do you want to do? Do you play chess? Well, I don't know, maybe reading. I don't know, something, you know, the best exercise for you is completely different. And so I get people from all walks of life. I got teen athletes. You said your godniece?
Yes.
Yep.
No, my goddaughter, actually.
Goddaughter,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know. Is godniece a thing?
Yeah, probably.
Is it? I don't know. Somebody somewhere. I'm a godniece.
You're
Shut
helping
up.
her out?
Yeah.
That's
No,
awesome.
So I have
it was great
teens
to hear
program.
that today.
She's doing awesome. Yeah. So I've got a ton of kids that come down and just kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to start that program to teach them how to lift. Right? 'Cause I was going to school at a college. I won't name which one at the time, but I saw some kids in the weight room that were on the football team. And a lot of what happens in college in the strength programs is unsupervised. It's basically like, hey, you were good enough to make the team because of your skills. We need you to get stronger. Here's your strength program. There's the weight room. Get your shit done.
And nobody's watching.
And they get in there and they do it. I mean, some of the bigger schools like the D1, obviously they've got strength coaches in there, some great strength coaches. But at some of the other like state level and things like that, it doesn't happen. And I just saw some things like, I was like, these kids just don't know, right? They're going to get hurt or they're not going to be effective. And I decided that it needed to start way before that. So I decided to start this program, which grew and grew, and that became my main job. Right? I still coach here and there, the adult classes at CrossFit, but my main job is bare bone strength, teaching these kids how to lift, how to lay groundwork. You know, before you can be an elite athlete anywhere, you need to be able to, I don't know, do a push-up and things like that. And I think more prevalent than ever with the technology era, kids aren't outside playing as much. And I think that...
So true.
You know, you can be a great athlete nowadays if you just go to practices and maybe you go to the gym too. But there's a whole lot of time in between there that is spent inactive. And my job was to motivate these kids to first lay the groundwork to move correctly. I had phenomenal ball players and football players that couldn't squat even. Like, if you look at any college program or a professional program, these guys are monsters in the weight room. And there's a reason they squat, they bench, they deadlift, they power clean, and they run sprints. There's a reason that there are those staples. And then, so I taught these kids that. And then that kind of transposed to like, well, wait a minute. If everybody wants to like, I don't know, I think the majority of males wouldn't mind looking like a linebacker, right? So why not train like that? So why not boil it down to the basics of what works? And then that started to spread into adult programs.
Did you play sports growing up?
I played football.
You were playing football? Yeah.
Yep.
And also the other thing that you're doing is you're preventing injury too.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And that's a big thing. And that's, I mean, not to say that it's just a marketing thing, but that's 100%. I mean, you see a ton of injuries happen with like change of direction with kids just because they don't know how to turn or they just don't have muscle on them. You know, I mean, and this is, I'm a big, we can go in so many directions with this, but like.
We got all day, brother.
I got opinions and I got a voice and I don't mind the sound of it. So but it needs coffee.
Yes, one more time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to
Yeah.
Utica Coffee Roaster for sending me down this delicious yerba mate. Go check them out. They're hands down the best coffee in the world.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion.
So, which is why, let me foray a little bit. I had to segue off of that. I have a custom blend coffee, Bare Bones Blend.
You do?
By Utica Coffee.
You have your own blend?
I have my own coffee.
Really?
Yep.
Does it taste like protein shake?
No, it's actually, so what they do is, so when I approached her and I was like, I want to put my own label on a coffee. So she gave me a bunch of different options to try this and that. And I was like, I really want to make it custom. So we ended up going high caffeine. So we used part of the Wake the Hell Up. And then we use part Brazil to keep that awesome flavor in there too, in that dark roast.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the only place you can get that unless you go there and ask them to custom blend those in a cup for you. Yep. And I have those for sale on my website.
Very
custom
cool.
blended, labeled by PJ Green does the labeling for me. Yep. Printed out. I have them for sale. I got a whole bunch of stock.
Got to check that coffee out.
BareBonesStrength.com.
Cool.
Shameless plug. Yep.
Always, man. You got to plug your stuff in. That's why you're here, to plug yourself.
Thank you.
Nothing shameless on this show.
Cool.
Well, kind of.
I never feel any shame.
But back to working with the school programs. I mean,
Uh-huh.
plus you're getting them prepped for college and getting them out there.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but you're probably shedding some influence and knowledge
Mm-hmm.
on them, not just in the weight room, but in life as well.
I think it evolved to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it started out, when I was younger, in my mid-20s, I was like gung-ho athlete, everybody should be rah-rah, whatever. And it turned into, how can I reach a greater population and make a greater impact? And it turned into, yes, it's awesome to take the star athlete, bring him in and add, a 0.5 second onto his 40-yard time or whatever, you know what I mean? Or rather take it away from his 40-yard time, make him slower.
Right.
But more impactful to me was taking the kids that didn't have a sport and didn't have confidence, like eyes down, walk through, sit in the back of the room, come in, mom and dad's like, hey, why don't you go to this program? And over the course of a couple of weeks, I was seeing eyes come up, hands being shaken, looking ahead. Then all of a sudden they were giving a shit and they cared and they were working hard. And then like they'll probably never play a sport, but they're going to be the best damn video game player. You know what I mean? Like, and that's awesome because it's about the lessons that you get from that.
Yeah.
Aside from the physicality, right? It's the lessons of I've committed to something. It felt really, really difficult and utterly painful to you're not causing physical pain, but it's your bodies are, they don't like to be changed. Right? We don't like to. We're very a homeostatic type of human being, right? We like to be as we are all the time, and that's the body's job is to stay that way. So to change anything, it's a disruption in that. So to ask a body to get stronger or faster or have a greater use of oxygen, VO2 max, it's a change, and your body doesn't want to, and it's hard, right? So to teach them that and what that feels like and how to push through those difficult things gives them confidence and gives them those lessons that they can then bring to other places. And I've seen kids come through and like their grades go up, and then their parents are like, "Wow, I got a stand-up kid." You know what I mean? He's like shaking my hand. He's helping me out with stuff around the house, and like all that comes from that, regardless of what they use that for.
Well, a couple months ago, the parents probably wanted to kick the shit out of the kids, you know, just for being
so
a knucklehead.
And I'm not like a boot camp, you know what I mean? I don't yell at kids. I don't this and that. I'm just like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And this is what everybody else is doing. And I'm lucky enough to have enough kids that have been with me revolving that if a kid comes in, it's part of the culture to be a go-getter. Whereas like in class, in English class, you're cool if you sit in the back and you don't give a shit. Right. And so I wrote this article called The Death of Indifference. And that's, I feel like what I'm doing is killing indifference. Right. I think that today, so you remember, even when we were in school, if you're the kid that sat up front and you raise your hand, you're a nerd or dork or a geek, and you get picked on because you cared about class. Right. But in here, it's the opposite way around. Right. Nobody's going to pick on you if you don't care, but they're going to be like, why isn't Johnny picking up a kettlebell? You know what I mean? Like, why is he sitting down on his phone? You know, and it's kind of like, let them go ahead and do that, but they're going to be the outcast unless they want to care and work. Right. So we create that culture, which is pretty cool.
That's amazing, man. You're molding minds.
Yeah.
And it's super important. It's got to make you feel good, too, at the end of the day, especially when you hear that parent talk about their kid and how much they've changed in their life. And then it's got to make you feel good inside. Like, I'm actually making a difference in this kid's life. And it's not just one, but there's several. I mean, I've seen you have videos with the whole Proctor football team.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to have, there's one kid, I'll give him a shout out, Asa, because he's an awesome kid. And DJ brought him down, and DJ has been like this kid's mentor. He was the old Proctor basketball coach, and he took this kid on, Asa, and he had, kind of, it's tough. There's so many kids at Proctor. It's so many, so it's tough for all of them to get the kind of attention they need, and they may get into trouble here and there. But he had a complete turnaround, and a lot of it was because of DJ. But he also brought him to me, and we got him strength training, and all he cared about was basketball. And over the course of 2 years, I watched him go from like 14-year-old skinny kid to like he put on 30 pounds of legit muscle.
Wow.
Like, we have a machine that measures actual muscle and body fat, and he was almost 200 pounds at 3% body fat at 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the football team took note of him, and because of him, the football team was like, what are you doing, and how do we do it for the football team? They pointed him in my direction, and I landed a gig helping out the Proctor football team before this past season, which they're killing it this year.
They're killing it.
So I got to get in their weight room and like teach these kids, like, here's how we do this, here's how we do that, here's how we train super hard and get after it. Yeah. And there's nothing fancy about what I do. It's just work ethic. That's all.
Right.
It's just, here's a plan. Here's how we stick to it. And I'm going to make sure you're safe and you're doing the right thing.
Well, that's the important thing is installing that work ethic into them first, and then getting them motivated and going. And, it's all about that motivation too. Motivation, dedication, and commitment, right?
Totally.
The 3 rules of the gym.
Yep. And I'd say perspective too is a huge one, especially for the football players in the weight room, because when you're 15 years old or 16 and your buddy's squatting 275, you want to squat 275. But I'm like, dude, when you get out in the field, nobody cares what you squat. They care how you play football.
Right.
And I'm like, you are going to be a better football player if you drop down 50 pounds and you do it the right way and you do it fast.
Yeah.
So their perspective is it doesn't matter what happens in the weight room. It matters how it serves the field. And I took that. So all these lessons that I learned from, building this program, I've taken to adults now because of everything that I've learned from it. And I feel like I obviously can only relate to men at this point in my life. I know it's 2018 and anybody can be whoever they want to be, but I can only relate to men. And I know that for men, that changes a lot. So I think for me, being a father of a toddler, and I'm keeping perspective. So everything that I do, just like those football players, everything they did in the weight room had to serve them on the field because that's what they were there for. Everything that I do in the gym, in the weight room, has to serve my life. So I have to have perspective. And I've started speaking on that a lot, about having priorities and sticking to them for everything that you do in life. For me, it's the first thing that I do has to serve my family, right? Does it serve my family? Is it good for my daughter, good for my wife? Then is it good for my business?
Good man.
And then is it good for my health and my fitness? So my fitness has taken, I won't say it's taken a backseat, but it's evolved to being where since nobody pays me to work out, I mean, obviously if I was 400 pounds and a fat slob, nobody would come listen to me, right? You don't go to a dentist with bad teeth, but I'm in the gym maybe 45 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week, and I make that work. So I've had to find ways to make that work and be effective. So now the big thing that I do, especially when I'm going to start traveling, we can talk about that if you want to, is just getting an audience around, and just I'm super opinionated about the fact, because I think I'm right, you know, about any male, give or take my age, that does not want to be competitive in some sport doesn't need to be in the gym for hours a day, right? I think they should take labels off of it. I'm not a CrossFitter, a powerlifter, a strongman, whatever. You just are. You're just going to the gym to serve your life. You need to learn lessons from the gym. You need to be fit from the gym. You need to get in and get out and go about your day. You need to be better for it, not wrecked and annihilated and hurt.
Right.
That's all.
It just makes you feel better about your day, especially like when I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is go to the gym. Go to the gym, get my hour and a half in, and it makes me motivated, and it makes me move all day, and it gets me pumped up. And well, the yerba mates help too. But, but it's important to really get you, mold your mind, body, and soul. Kind of get it all, and it's all about balance, right?
Yeah.
Life is all about balance, and the gym has definitely helped me put my life into balance.
Good, yeah. Because it's obviously the physical things that everybody knows about the gym, of like the aesthetics, which I mean, who doesn't want to be bigger, more jacked and leaner and all that, which is cool too, which gives you confidence and you feel great about yourself. But there's also, like you said, the mind, and the fact that if you put a check in the box every day, when you go to the gym, you're like, dude, look what I've done for myself. I've got this long line of checks and boxes. I've committed to something and I've done it. And if one day, if you zoom in and you look at what you did one day and it was like a subpar workout, and one day was like killing it, and one day was like, for every 5 workouts, 1 is going to be awesome, 1's going to be shit, and 3 are just going to be days. Right? So
Indeed.
it's there's a guy, John Wellborn, who's a mentor of mine. I've gone to a couple of his seminars. He's got this great quote that he's like, training is like moving a pile of dirt. Some days you get a shovel and some days you get a spoon. The important thing is to just keep moving dirt.
That's a good one.
Right?
I like that.
So if you go and you're like, man, today sucked, I shouldn't even have gone. No, you should have, because you still put a check in the box. If you're uninjured for it and it didn't take away from your obligations and your priorities, it was awesome.
The hardest thing is getting there, but when you're there, it's successful. No matter if you had a great workout or a shitty one or a mediocre one, it's as long as you are there, putting your work in, then consider it a good day.
And then there's the soul aspect, right? That you said also. So there's not only like, there's a disconnect that happens at the gym. And for me, I've tried meditation. I've tried everything to kind of like check out. And it happens in the gym for me. It happens when, so you're like me, you've got a very entrepreneurial spirit, right? You've always got your hand in different things, and it doesn't stop. It's not a 9 to 5 thing, right? It's all the time, right? Or
24 hours a day.
All the time, man. Yeah. And you got to check out here and there. And for me, that's in the gym. For that, 45 minutes, hour 15, the music's on and I'm away from it.
Yep.
Right? Now, people will argue that it's not a stress reliever because you've got the same like sympathetic nervous system response as if like stress would, you know what I mean? Because you're giving that to your system. But like, I call bullshit on that. Do all the studies you want. I feel like I know that I'm less stressed after I'm not an asshole anymore.
I'm with you, brother.
Right? So if I don't go to the gym for the day, and my wife is amazing, and she puts up with me on the days that I don't and tries to help me keep it in perspective, but I know I'm a better dude when I go to the gym. I just am. I've done that for myself for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just feel so much better.
And it doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
I'm not telling everybody to go and power lift and lift heavy and do CrossFit and run marathons. They just got to do something. Yeah. Find your poison, or find your nectar, I guess, whatever you love.
Was there an incident in your life or some kind of circumstance that happened that made you want to get into like CrossFit or in training people and helping people?
So I've always I have a whole bunch of self-awareness that I've been working on lately, and I think I've realized that I've always wanted to lead. I've always wanted to like take control of the situation, right? Because I've always felt like I've had a pretty good understanding of things that happen, whether it was like projects in school, this and that. I've always been like, listen, I know what we're trying to achieve here. Let's do this, you do that. And I feel like I'm a pretty good people person, right? I get along with everybody. Hopefully I'm not an asshole, right? And so that helped. I think there's a lot of factors. I did Taekwondo from the age of 5 till 21. And I started teaching Taekwondo after I got my second degree black belt at age 10, and then 14. I got my third degree, and it's just...
Wait, you got your black belt at 10?
I got my first degree black belt at 10. Yeah,
Wow.
I got my second degree black belt at 14. I started assistant teaching.
It's
and
amazing.
then I got my third degree black belt at 17. So I was in front of a group, and I was teaching people things from an early age anyway. So it was Taekwondo. So I'll tell everybody that what I learned from Taekwondo was physical awareness, coordination, discipline, confidence. I didn't learn how to fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to hold my own because I know where to move my body and things like that, but it's not like Muay Thai. Like,
Right.
I know Taekwondo, I'm not going to get in the boxing. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are better fight sports and confrontational sports, but this was a great disciplinary action. Yeah, that's all. As far as like fitness and looking for something more, I think I've always felt this drive that I had more in me, right? So I worked. So I can go way back. I'm going to try not to go super deep. I don't want to bore anybody, but my story basically is like, it's going to sound a little bit egotistical, but I got great grades all through school, right? I was like a 94 average student, and I was like skipping classes here and there to like go to the band room because I was in band because I loved music even from an early age. We'd disappear down there and play guitar in one of the side rooms, and I still ended up with a 94 graduating. I had almost a full ride to SUNY Oneonta through like scholarships. I got like a 1400 on SATs. And then I didn't have any work ethic, right? Because it always came easy. So I just partied. I had a really good time. And I had such a good time, they asked me not to come back after like some behavioral, what do we call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Discipline.
Discipline, probation. Behavioral probation, yeah. And then the grades dropped because I wasn't going to classes because I didn't give a shit.
Hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Totally.
Right?
I just wanted to party. I just wanted to hang out and do nothing. Right. And then I went back to MV with the same mentality. And
you're hanging out with that Crossman kid, weren't
must
you?
have been, yeah. He came later. Yeah, I got to keep him in check, yeah.
He did check in a little while ago.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Continue.
So I stopped going to school and I started working manual labor. I think that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn the value of $1, and I learned what it was to work on call 24 hours a day. I was working landscaping. I did some janitorial work. I was working disaster restoration. So I was sweating through 3 and 4 shirts a day. And then there came a shift. I remember the exact time it happened. So do you know Trevor Keller?
I probably.
Oh, man. I'm going to put this out there. He's probably going to listen to this. He's a real punk rock guy. Yeah, he's living in Virginia Beach right now.
Oh, wait, yeah. The tall kid.
Trevor. Yeah,
yes,
so I was working with Trevor Keller.
Okay.
And there was a time when Trevor and I had to do a job way out in like past your neck of the woods, like East Edmonston, out that way.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to go for lunch. We were like, dude, we got to start bringing sandwiches. And the difference from eating pizza for lunch every day to bringing sandwiches, by the end of the week, we were like, fuck, I feel good. Like, I don't feel sluggish after and this and that. So then it was like, there's something to this. So then nutrition started to become a thing. And then my other buddy, Timmy, Trevor's cousin, started working with us. And Timmy and I started going to the gym all the time at Planet Fitness, and I started reading about it. And then it was like, man, we're feeling good. Like, everything's like ramping up here. And then like work got easier. And that kind of started like, I love fitness. I love this whole thing. I love the feeling of like bodybuilding. I'd always been in the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
High school and stuff like that. But
Right.
it was different now. And I kind of wanted to like pass that on. And
Because when you're in school, it almost feels like you had to go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you were playing football and they made you go. The coaches
Yeah.
made you go and gym class and stuff. But
Uh-huh.
when you're an adult, you go on your own.
Yeah.
And once you realize that this feels good
Yeah.
and this is like
Uh-huh.
making me
Totally.
feel better and I'm
Yeah.
more positive in life,
Uh-huh.
it's almost like a drug.
Yeah. And then Nate and I, this was during Autumn Fire, Nate and I would go in his backyard, and he had a big tire. We'd flip it, hit it with sledgehammers. We had a big chunk of tree. We would throw it around his backyard. Like one
could picture
person,
this.
yeah, one person would carry like his winter tires on the rims down to the end of the driveway and back, with the other one hung from a ladder with her legs straight out, like an L-sit. And we would just take turns. So we were doing CrossFit and strongman-esque movements before it ever really like came to the area. Mm-hmm. CrossFit opened up, and I was like, cool, that looks fun. So I went there, and it just blew up from there. I just like being here, so I quit my job and went back to school for it. And then I quit school because I was like, I don't want to work with colleges, and in that setting, I want to work for myself. Yeah.
What about your workout routine? Do you work out every day, or when you're
Yeah.
training somebody, do you work out with the person you're training
I
with?
don't, because I like to focus on them and be motivational for them. I don't do a lot of one-on-one personal training.
You don't? It's more of a
only
group
because, there's a different dynamic in a group. And I'll be honest with you, sitting there looking at somebody being like, you're doing great, 7, 8, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be pumped up if somebody was doing that for me, you know what I mean? Well, I do a lot of group stuff though. So like I will teach people in a one-on-one setting, like a skill session, like let's learn the kettlebell, or let's learn this movement or learn that. But like if you're coming in to like get after and get a workout, somebody standing next to you with like a sheet of paper and just counting for you isn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I like group settings.
Yeah.
So that's why the kids have always been a group setting. And I do a lot of programming because I like working out by myself. I'll jump into classes here and there at CrossFit, but I love working out by myself because I love that, just like put my head down at my own pace and go. And so I write all my own workouts, and I lift heavy. It's a relative term, right? Heavy to where I'm going to feel good. I squat, I bench, I deadlift like a power lifter. I use Atlas stones and tires and sledgehammers and heavy carries like a strongman. I do bodybuilding stuff after, just whatever makes me feel good for the day.
Do you
know?
do non-weight workouts?
Yeah, like bodyweight stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, this summer, actually, I took...
Resistant bands or any of that?
Yeah, so this summer, I had some nagging injuries, and injuries are just your body telling you that something should change, right? It's a teacher in a sense, right? Anytime like you're sick, it's teaching you something. The lesson is that like, hey, maybe you shouldn't, I don't know, eat raw chicken. You know what I mean? Whatever you're sick with, you know? It's teaching you something. And so I listened to my body, and I stopped heavy lifting, and I went all body weight for like 6 weeks. Like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, all that stuff. I learned like animal flow movements, and I just took a totally different direction. And then I got heavy into kettlebells and kind of rehabbed the whole thing and learned different ways. And then I brought the heavy weight back in. I built from the ground up. After a decade plus in the gym, sometimes you got to do that.
Watching your Instagram, I feel like you're the kettlebell master right now.
So I like people to have a difficult time labeling me. That's what I like.
Okay.
My goal in the fitness world, when everybody has like a niche, I want people to not be able to label me, right? Some people are going to be like, you saw those posts and be like, he's the kettlebell dude. And some are like, he's a strongman guy. And some are like, oh, he's a CrossFit. I want people to not be able to pigeonhole me, right? Because my ultimate why for myself, aside from like my family and all that and being fit for that, is when I was growing up, I loved like G.I. Joes, and who doesn't want to look like a G.I. Joe? You know, like to me, my idols growing up were the strongest, the fastest superheroes and this and that. And everything I do has to serve that end. I want to be big, jacked, and strong. And sometimes it looks like all of these things, whatever I need at the moment to help me get there, right? And capable and happy. You know what I mean? So whatever's going to put me there. And at the time, it was kettlebells.
For your workout through the week, though, are you planning each day as like one day I'm going to do kettlebells, and the next day I'm going to do
so
resistant bands or whatever?
I just did a podcast with a friend of mine, a podcast called Life Well Done. He's out of Michigan, and I'm going to post that one on mine if anybody wants to reference that too. But him and I were just talking about this too. So I have an ebook out called The Bare Bones Method, and it's about me learning through all these different programs and everything I've done, the principles that stayed true. And the Bare Bones Method is about how to structure your week and about how to make sure you're hitting all of those points of performance and everything that you should be doing, but in a way that takes expectation off it so that you don't feel like you're following, you have to stick to this plan. So the example is like if the plan says you got to squat today, you got to X amount of pounds, and you're not feeling it, well, then you feel like shit because you didn't do the plan. Or if you're feeling awesome, right? You're feeling like you can lift the weight of the world and it's not on your plan. Well, I feel like you should play to the day, right? So I have a basic template for me. I know what I'm going to do. I know that every week I'm going to squat, and then I don't take big, long rest periods. So like if I'm squatting, for example, and anybody out there that knows about like programming and things like that, if I say today my emphasis is I want to put a bar on my back and I want to squat, every time I do a set of 5, I'm going to go heavier, heavier, heavier. But in between every set, I'm going to do some push-ups and I'm going to do some jumps. So that way I'm just like, I circuit train basically, but with a strength emphasis. So I end after 15, 20 minutes with a super heavy set of 5 I've worked up to for the day. And then I might do like some volume, be like, all right, I'm going to do some bench press and some pull-ups back and forth. And then I'm going to do some conditioning. So I'll grab like a sled and a sandbag, things like that. So I have a basic idea. I know what I'm going to do. So like, I know I'm going to squat today. How am I feeling? Am I feeling like I can go heavy? Am I feeling like I just need to do some reps? Things like that. And I don't let that dissuade me or change my mood because I know, like we talked about earlier, I'm just putting a check in the box for the day. I'm coming in and I'm squatting. Good. Because the way that brick looks in the Great Wall of China is not noticeable when you zoom out from space. You're building that wall regardless. Some of them are set awesome. Some of them are a little crooked. Some of them are half bricks, whatever. You know what I mean? And overall, you just want to put a check in the box, put brick in the wall. How many other analogies can I throw in there? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all.
What about cardio? Do you put cardio into your workout at all? Or?
So that's where I might take 10 minutes and I might push a sled across the room and back, carry something heavy, do some kettlebell swings, some jumps, things like that. if I'm going to go for like a long, slow run, it's because I want to clear my mind and enjoy it. And because I want to challenge myself. Yeah. But I'm not crazy about doing that. If that's somebody's like, they love endurance training, then awesome. I love riding my bike, love mountain biking, stuff like that.
So you're not like an elliptical guy or a treadmill guy?
Yeah, totally not. I'm just everything free weights. If I'm going to get to, we call it cardio or cardiovascular conditioning, because I want my heart rate to get super fast, I'm going to do it through basically what CrossFit was built on is just general physical preparedness stuff. So like basic movements and then like circuit them faster with minimal rest. Yeah, things that I'm not going to get hurt on. I don't know how much you know about CrossFit or other people do, but like it was built on the tenets of, it's nothing new. It's just cross training. That's all it is. They just branded it.
Yeah.
And it started out as like, let's take movements like lifting, jumping, running, all that, and just combine it together because it gets your heart rate jacked up and you're lifting, which is awesome. And then it became very competitive, and now there's a whole sport behind it, which I'm not into. Right? I'm not into the sport of like what you see on ESPN. And
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
ridiculous.
That. Yeah, it's like if you play pickup basketball, right? You don't have aspirations to go to the NBA. So the same thing should be said for if you do CrossFit because you appreciate cross training.
Right.
You shouldn't really compare yourself to those people and do what they're doing because they do it in a different aspect.
Most people aren't going to do CrossFit because they want to turn pro.
Totally, yeah.
I mean, they just want to do it to get a workout in
Totally,
and take care of themselves.
Yeah. And the whole idea, like, I feel like CrossFit or cross training can't happen in a day because that's just a small snapshot. So I believe that like if you're truly going to be a multi-sport cross training athlete, you need to look at what you do that month. Some days were strength training, some days you rode your bike, some days were body weight, some days were, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's a mixture of everything.
I want to go back to, you were talking about working on the job site and eating pizza every day, but switching it to sandwiches. Take me through your diet. What's your diet like all week?
So right now, mostly meat and veggies, right? So in the mornings, since I go in and I coach super early.
Are you vegetarian?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm a meatitarian. Yeah, totally. Meat and veggies. Totally meat and veggies. So just from a science standpoint, if somebody wants to eat all vegetables because like ethical or moral reasons, cool. Everybody can do whatever they want. If they feel good on it, there are people that I know that are all vegetarian or vegan and are super, super healthy and do great for themselves. I couldn't do that because I love meat, and those people are the exception and not the rule. It's like, could I don't know, I don't even have an analogy for that, but like there's a certain way that things are supposed to be done and interact with your body and chemical processes, and there's like amino acids that your body needs. We make some of them. The other ones, the best source we can get them from is meat. So there's just, there's proof that our bodies are meant to have meat. That's all. Yeah, and if somebody doesn't want to eat it, I'm not going to try to make them eat it. They can eat whatever they want because it works for some people. That's my stance on like veganism and vegetarianism. My brother turned vegan, and I love my brother. My brother's awesome. We've always gotten along really well, and he's doing a great job at it. He's going to school for culinary. He turned vegan, and he's staying strong, and he's staying fit, and he's staying healthy.
Right on.
Yeah. So it can be done, with a little bit of research.
Are you a calorie counter or?
I've done it all.
Yeah.
I've coached nutrition. So before I ever started coaching people through nutrition, I felt like I had to try a lot of things. So the big buzzwords in nutrition now are like keto and intermittent fasting, and I've done both of those. I've never tried veganism. I've tried cutting way back on red meats just to see how I felt. I've tried like super high carbs. I've tried counting macros. I've tried like the whole, if it fits your macros. I've used MyFitnessPal. I've tried just straight calorie counting, and I've done them all for a long enough period of time to know how I interact with it and to learn how those processes work so I could guide other people through them. Because I'm a firm believer that there's no one right way. It's like getting back to like, what's the best exercise? And it's like, for what? Or for who? For what reason? So it's like, there's no best diet. It will tell you that there are certain tenets, like you should probably eat real food, not processed food, drink lots of water, and eat a little bit less than, what will make you fat. You know what I mean? That's all. So those are the basic principles. And I think the more people get caught up in these like named diets, the more they lose sight of that.
Right, the trendy diet.
Totally.
Every year there's a new trendy diet.
Yeah.
And this year it's the keto diet.
And I could tell you why every one of them works for people, right? I can tell you why.
Everybody's different. That goes back to that again, too. I mean, everybody's body is different so what keto might work for you, but it might not work for me.
Yeah.
Or this exercise might work for you, but it might not work for me. I might want to try it a little bit different,
Scientifically speaking, I've studied nutrition pretty extensively from like what happens in the body level, and I try to keep it in very layman's terms when I talk about it, because that's how we all understand things. And basically, it's just the truth that it is, in fact, on a most basic level, calories in, calories out. That's a truth, right? Obviously, it gets deeper into that, but if you were to zoom way out, that's the base of the pyramid. If your body needs 2,500 calories to stay as you sit right now and what you do throughout your day, if you eat 2,700 calories a day, eventually you'll weigh more. That's just it. Obviously, then what does that weight come from, right? That's that second tier of the pyramid where it's like, are you eating enough? Are your calories all coming from pizza in your strength training? Then you're probably not going to gain muscle, right? You're getting enough protein, fats, and carbs and macros and things like that matter. But as you climb that pyramid of more specificity, you start to get away from what matters for most people, and they lose sight of that bottom thing. Are you eating too much? Are you eating too little? Are you eating the right amount? And then is it good quality food? Yeah, I think those are the basic tenets that I think work well for people. I think that people jump on things like keto and South Beach diet and this and that, and they're like, this works, I lost all this weight. Like, well, if we really looked at what you ate, you stopped eating chips and going out to Moe's 3 times a week. That's why it worked. You know what I mean?
You stopped drinking beer.
Stop drinking beer, right? So I think that, is it a cause or an effect? You know what I mean? So, and if it helps them to say that I'm on the South Beach diet and that's why I lost the weight and it happens for them, great. But in reality, it's probably because you stopped eating garbage and paid attention to your food.
Are you a 3 meals a day type of guy?
No, I graze.
You graze?
Yeah, I usually eat a pretty substantial dinner and lunch. Breakfast is kind of on the go because I'm in the gym early. And then I'm home, and sometimes we all sit down to breakfast after I get home. Yeah, my day's pretty cool by design, right? I mean, I wanted it that way, so I built my life that way. So I go to the gym nice and early, and I coach a 45-minute Mohawk Valley Fitness class, which is basically a barbell-free, better than boot camp type class. So like coming from a coach that is myself or other CrossFit coaches that are geared towards like, they were movement specialists, right? We know how people should move and stay safe at the higher level. And then we coach a class where people are just like moving and jumping jacks and bear crawls and kettlebell swings. We can overcoach that and do a good job. So it kind of took the place of like people that would like to go to things like Zumba and all that. We'll come to a place where people program for that crowd with our knowledge, basically. Yeah. So that's the class I really love coaching that, because it's just like people that just want to come in, they want to leave sweaty, smiling, and safe. That's it. They don't give a shit about what they can lift, anything, and they're going to look better, they're going to feel better, and that's just it.
Those are the 3 S's?
Yeah. Yep. I came up with those. I was like, yeah, those are the 3 things. You got to be smiling, sweaty, and safe. I don't know, maybe the order is different, but probably safety first, but yeah. So I coach that in the morning, done at 7:15. I train. I try to be done by 8:15. And then I'm home by 8:30 and hang out with my wife and daughter pretty much the majority of the day. My wife takes wedding and elopement photography. That's all she does. Parr Photo Co. We'll give her a shout out. She gets most of her business from Instagram. You check out her stuff there. PARR Photo Co. And she travels. There's a lot of Adirondack weddings.
Oh, cool.
Things like, yeah. And
it's the season right now, too, in the middle of fall.
Yeah, so she makes her own hours too. She's gone on weekends for weddings here and there, but I mean, throughout the day, it's just our day. And we just hang out. We do family stuff. My daughter goes to sleep, and right now we're working on the RV, which, do you want to get into that?
I was just about to talk about that, actually. So you're going to be taking off for a while, right? Or
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
Yeah, we're going to live on the road. Nomad style.
Nomad style.
So
you have an RV, or is it like a tow behind, a fifth wheel?
It's a fifth wheel.
Fifth wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
We call it the RV because we started out with a camper, like a 20-foot, like 1976 Jayco.
Okay.
It's like this tiny little thing. The original plan, I'll give you the abbreviated version, was I've always known I wanted to explore and see, and so did she. And after exploring out west, we have friends in Colorado Springs. We were like, hey, what about Colorado Springs? And it just seemed like a good idea. Until I think when anybody goes to make a big life change, and this goes for anything, you always gravitate towards your comfort zone, always. Even if the idea was to get outside your comfort zone, I think we need to be cognizant of the fact of, are we actually getting outside of our comfort zone? Because what our plans turned into went from, we're going to go do this great adventure in Colorado, it turned into selling our house here, getting a mortgage out there, leaving this gym there, going to that gym. We were building the same exact life, essentially, in Colorado. Right. And it's not about getting away from this area or this life, but like we just wanted to do things different. And so we kind of had to rethink that. And then it became, well, we bought this great new RV because we decided that if I was going to open a gym somewhere, we needed to wait until all those plans. And we wanted to leave before the snow flew here. So by November 2nd, we're leaving.
Can't blame me there.
And I didn't have everything in order to open the gym right when we got there. If I was going to open a gym. So we were going to have to travel for a little bit. So we bought a 28-foot fifth wheel instead. We sold the little camper. So we started calling it RV, so it wasn't a camper. You know what I mean? Just wanted to, Yeah, but
Still
it's
an
a
RV.
fifth wheel. Yeah, it's a 28 foot, and
It's a mobile home,
Yeah.
regardless, right?
and it's just big enough for us. I mean, we don't own a lot of things. We're very minimalist, and like we don't need a lot of material things. So our 2-year-old daughter has a bunkhouse in the back, and we got a queen bedroom. And they both have doors on either end, and a big living space with a slide out. So we're renovating it, and I had to buy a new truck. I don't know if you saw my bus pull up out front.
I did.
Yeah, it's a F-250 diesel. The thing is monstrous. Yeah, but it pulls it with more than enough power.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
So the plan is to try to sustain life on the road.
I hope that cement truck doesn't hit your truck right now.
Yeah, I know. It looks like they're.
He looks like he's having problems right now.
Yeah.
We might need somebody out there directing traffic. Anyways,
That's all right. I'll just get the name of the company and
there you
call
go.
them up.
Yeah, write it down right
Yeah.
now.
Perfect. I'll just send them a bill. You owe me a truck. You owe me a bus.
For those that don't
Yeah.
know, there's a cement truck outside trying to make this turn around the corner, and it doesn't look like he's doing a good job of doing it at all.
Doing like a 19-point turn in the middle of an intersection.
Right.
West Utica. Cool.
Anyways,
Yeah.
going back to your plan, you're going to be hitting
Yeah.
the road. You got your fifth wheel, and
Yeah.
what's the plan? Like,
We decided to live life a little differently. We decided to sustain life on the road. We've always wanted to. Ever since we met, we've always wanted to, but it took maturing our businesses to this point to really figure out how to make it sustainable and keeping, obviously, our overhead lower than our income. And that's it. And I think that so many people get caught up in, like, I got to get this house, then I got to get this car, and then I got to pay for them. And this job, it just builds and builds and builds. So we just kind of like took the bottom out of that, and we own our RV, our home outright. So we don't have a mortgage. And then it's just like, Britt's Instagram is through the roof. Her marketing on Instagram is phenomenal, and people love her work. And she's a mountain elopement photographer. So she's got weddings set up, and like people are flying her to Florida, Colorado, Portland, all that. So we're going to travel along that path.
That's awesome.
And she's doing shoots along the way. And then, so for me, I transitioned from being a coach in person to trying to reach more people with this message of like, let's keep perspective. Let's, as like I said, I can relate to male. So as a male that like is a dad and you're busy and all this stuff, they train 45 minutes. I write plans. So I have free training on my website, 3-day-a-week free training. And I make that free because it's very easy for me to come up with it based off the tenets that I believe in, that people should be doing. And it's like a 45-minute to an hour training session 3 days a week. Some strength training, some conditioning based off of that. And I don't charge for it because you can find free training all over the internet.
True.
Right? I believe that mine is better. I just do. Like I said, you have to be your own biggest fan, right? So I believe that mine is better. And this is what I think people should be doing. And it fires me up when people don't do things like this. And if I charged $10 a month for access to it, people that wanted free training would go somewhere else. I don't want them to, so I'd rather give this to them. But like, I want them to get the best training and have the best information, so I give it to them for free. If they want a custom program, I do those. I write 4-week standalone programs they can purchase as ebooks. I do remote coaching for people that want to take it to the next level and like check in with me every week and have me be your bro for 3 months and like let's text back and forth and how'd your session go and what are you eating, things like that. So I do that too. I coach people through things like that.
And it's so easy with the power of the internet. And that's why I tell everybody, I mean, you got the power in your hand right here.
Yeah.
You can
100%.
find whatever, you can learn whatever you want nowadays, right in the palm of your hand. You can watch a video on YouTube on how to do something or whatever. And that's cool because you could bring this out on the road, do your thing, live your life out on the road and still be able to help people and mold people's minds and coach them along in life, which is great.
And then I realized that the fitness industry is huge and everybody thinks they're right. So what's happening out on especially like Instagram is people are trying to build their following and their audience.
Right.
But how do you know one person from another? So what's awesome about what we're doing is I'm basically going on tour as a strength coach. I'm not going to try to build my huge following off of just like hashtagging and come like my page. I'm going to physically go gym to gym, and I have gyms set up along the way already that are having me come in and do seminars and speeches and kettlebell clinics for their members for free to their members. So they can come in, interact with me, get to know me as a person, know that I actually give a shit, because here's a good one for you for any line. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Right? So I want them to know how much I care. I want them to do well. And if they say 18 people come to one of these things, right? And then 10 of them are like, cool, I like that guy, but I'm going to follow his free stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks for the sticker. And then one of them says, you know what? I'm going to buy a program. Cool. Then I've reached 10 people, and one of them is helping fund my income on the road. And all of a sudden my following grows because of an interpersonal reaction. And those people will stay with me, right? I have blog posts, I have videos, I have YouTube, all that stuff.
Especially if there's that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not trying to trick people. I want to become friends with all these people, interact with them, and help them the best way possible. And coming face-to-face with them for free and showing them that I care about their success. And here's my opinions on it. And if you believe in me, let's stay friends and follow what I'm doing. Yeah. So I go gym to gym to gym, and I do that. And I sell T-shirts and coffee and all hats along the way, too.
It's amazing where Instagram is at right now.
Yeah.
Because Instagram, and I've been telling the guys around here, too, I'm like, you got to be using Instagram a lot more. I'm the only one that really uses the Instagram. I'm like, you guys got to use it because it helps. It's a great tool. And, you know, all the other social media platforms are kind of sinking a little bit, you know, where Instagram is kind of taking off, Instagram and Snapchat and stuff like that, you know. People want to see the video more than just a picture. And then when you got Facebook being all political and all full of hate and racist crap that are going on Facebook, you know, people are going to gravitate towards Instagram because it's just pictures. And you really can't get into too many arguments over pictures, right?
Because you have the option to not see any of the comments as you scroll through. Instagram set it up so that way, if you're looking at somebody's post, you see a tidbit of the next post. So your mind is like, let's keep going.
Keep going.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
So you don't see all those interactions.
Exactly.
Yeah. That, and I feel like the way Facebook is set up, their algorithm for a business page, you just don't reach a lot of people. Right. So I use Facebook for like Facebook groups. I have a private Facebook group that anybody can join. It's private because I wanted some sort of barrier to entry so that no Joe Schmo can join it. Right. You had to be like, hey, I want to request to join, answer one question that is, what is strengths to you? And I say, sweet, this dude wants to be a part of the group. You can join. And in that group, it's 100% engagement because everybody sees everything in a group. And now we talk about, hey, what'd you do for training today, dude? We got accountability buddies, right? That's Trevor Keller came up with that term. It's like, hey, did you train today? What'd you do today? You eating garbage? What are you up to? So we just keep each other accountable. And that's, I think, what Facebook is really good for.
Accountability buddies.
Accountability buddy. Yeah. Have an accountability buddy.
I love that.
Yep. YouTube, I started getting into YouTube. I took the mindset of it's going to be garbage when I start. And I knew it was going to be, so like my videos were terrible. And I filmed them all on my iPhone. I was using iMovie on the iPhone to edit. And then it got a little bit better, and I learned that if I turn the camera sideways when I film with my iPhone, it looks a hell of a lot better on YouTube. So that was the first step, and then I got better at like editing, and I'm just starting to build it.
Yeah.
And doing some like training videos and like some instructional videos, and
and learning every day,
and
too.
learning,
That's I feel like that's important. You're only going to grow by learning. You know?
Eventually, I'm just thinking that if I just keep being me and developing relations with people and caring and trying to help as many people as possible, doors will open.
Absolutely.
I don't have a 1 year or 5 year plan. I would love to own a gym someday, and I will. I just don't know where we're going to settle. So we're going to experience the West Coast and Colorado again through the lens of like, where do we really want to live? If now or 3 years from now, you know what I mean? Maybe it'll be 6 months from now we'll settle someplace. Maybe it'll be 3 years from now. Maybe it'll be 6 years from now and we homeschool Adeline for a while. You know, who knows? But we just don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into this is what it has to be, because life can be whatever we want it to be. Right. You need food, you need shelter, and basically there's not much else that you need in life. Right? You just need air, right? Coffee. Yeah. So just, you know, making it happen with those tenets of, and obviously being practical about it the whole time too. So we're not just like pissing in the wind, you know. But
well, it goes into the more you put out there, the more you're going to get back to you. You know, it's the whole karma thing.
Yeah.
And you're out there molding minds and being a huge influence. I mean, you're an inspiration to me right now, pal.
Thanks, dude.
I'm ready to go buy a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
Well, we've been actually in the market for looking for a fifth wheel or an RV or something to that effect, and you know, do the summertime. Yeah, man. It's much better than. I would rather camp. Or I would rather camp that way and go to different facilities instead of buying one camp and being there all the time. Then you're stuck at one camp. I'd rather explore, such as yourself.
Yeah. And then
just move around and bounce around and explore. And that's what it's about.
And we want Hadley to experience all that too.
Yeah.
You know, she's pretty young, so she's 2.5 right now. But like over the next couple of years, she's going to experience mountains and the ocean and then when she's a little older, surfing and rock climbing and like people all over the world. You know what I mean?
The kid's gonna have a great life.
Yeah,
already does.
Yep. And like I don't need her to grow up with a golden spoon in her mouth.
Right.
I don't need her to grow up. I need her to grow up with a little bit of adversity, but be as safe as possible and loved, and bring her out into the world and show her things and let her be a part of our life. Somebody said that. I don't even remember who it was. Somebody said when I first had her, when we had her, that don't center your life around your kid, make them a part of your life. So that way, who we are as people and our experiences in life, she becomes a part of that. So she comes to the gym with me. She likes to swing on the rings like a monkey, she said. So she goes and picks her feet up. Yeah. She walks across the balance beam. We hold her hands. There's one of those in the other room. And yeah. And she's, my guitars, I've never told her to stay away from my guitars. I keep them down and she can get after all of them.
Nice.
And play them. And she respects them and she doesn't stand on them. And she's got a couple little ukuleles and my wife's cameras she plays with and things. And yeah, we make her a part of our life. So that way she gets those experiences. And we're going to back her 100%. Dude, if she says she doesn't want to go to college, I mean, thank God. You know what I mean? The way, I don't know, we can get into that if you want to. Or the way college is going these days, I just feel like I feel like entrepreneurial spirit and like vocations and things are underrated.
You don't need that piece of paper to let you know that you're smart.
Not anymore.
If you just go out, again, the power is all in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're going to put into it.
Yeah.
You can learn so much. And you don't really need like a vocation. Well, you maybe, if you want to get into, say, plumbing or something like that, then you get into whatever, electrical school or something like that. But as far as going into college nowadays, I just feel like it's almost like a dying format, if you will.
Format. I'm glad you said that because it's not to say that education. People should always be learning. Always be learning. Find a way to educate yourself. Be learning whatever the best way that you learn. If you learn through videos, fucking spend all day on YouTube. If you learn through written word, find books. Listening, find podcasts and audio. But learn.
Or take an internship.
Totally. Yeah. But I think that there are fewer and fewer people out there in the world that I think that works for, and it continues to. And I think the people that know exactly what they want to be, and if it requires that, like lawyers and doctors, I don't want a doctor that didn't go to college. So I mean, those people should. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I think warrant a formal education, but I think there's fewer and fewer people that I think are feeling like they have to go that route anymore.
And look at all the people that have degrees. They aren't even using.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, they work at Barnes & Noble.
Millions.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with working at Barnes & Noble. I love Barnes & Noble. But I'm just saying, like, if you got a 4-year political science degree, like...
I can think of hundreds of friends right now that aren't using their degrees whatsoever. They're just either bartending or working in a restaurant. And again, nothing's wrong with that. I've bartended forever.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But they're not using their degree. It's a waste of money. You just wasted how many thousands of dollars on your education to not even be using it.
I did it. Dude, so when I went back to school, because I wanted to be in the fitness world more, and I was already starting to coach, and I went back to college for exercise science and like kinesiology, and like I learned a little bit, but it was just reiterating all the things that I've already experienced. And then as it went on and on and on, I was physically already doing the job that I wanted to do. I was coaching and I was going to school at the same time. It was less and less like, I don't need this. And then it came to the point, I left school with one semester, like a semester and a half left. I think I had like 20 credits and I would have my bachelor's. But that would have cost me another $20,000.
Right.
And I was like, do I need to be $20,000 in debt for a piece of paper to never work a job that's going to ask me for it? Because I don't want to work for someone. I want to work for myself or in the independent sector.
And then you're going to bust your ass paying off all those student loans.
Yeah.
You'll be working till you're 60 years old paying off your student
Probably
loans.
already will be. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you there, brother.
Yeah.
Gotta ask you though, are you ever into taking cold showers? Are you one of those cold shower
Dude,
guys?
like I get it and I know, but it's one of the things that like it's really tough for me.
Yeah.
It is. So I'm not afraid to admit that like I've tried them and so you know what Wim Hof is?
No, I don't.
They call him the Iceman, Wim Hof. So he's a dude that like brought this, like it's cool to like be cold shower.
Cold
like, a lot of
shower,
the whole Wim Hof thing is like he's this wild out there dude that like hikes Everest in shorts and shit like that.
All right, I know who you're talking about.
Okay,
now.
yes. He got a beard and he's like, So his whole thing is like he's actually taken people and taught them to do it, and like he's like run tests on me and they've run tests on him and his body physically withstands that. Has to do with like your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system up and down regulating and things like that. And like I've even heard people take like contrast showers, like cold to hot.
Yeah.
And it like ramps them up before bed. And then as they get out of that cold shower, their body shuts down. They get the best night of sleep ever. I don't know. I'm be honest with you, I don't shower often enough to make that. I got a 2-year-old, run a business. My wife runs a business. I'm like every 3 days. I go to the gym every day. It's okay. You judge me. Yeah. You can't smell me from there, so we're good to go. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I have a buddy of mine that actually does the cold shower thing, and he
Yeah.
swears by it. He's actually lost weight from it.
Yeah.
It's helped him mentally, and it's also helped him deal with temperature. Like, he's not cold anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's something
Your
about
body creates extra capillaries. It does. You know, but and then so it's kind of like that reference to like the South Beach thing. Like somebody's like, the South Beach diet made me lose weight, or was it that, or was it because you stuck to something and stopped eating garbage? So your buddy lost weight from cold showers. I don't think that directly made him lose weight, but I think he stuck to something and got dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And then his mindset was like, I'm going to do things for my health. And then I think it just kind of all fell into line, which is great if it did it for him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
But that
helped.
was a catalyst to something else happening.
Yeah, good point.
You know?
Good point.
So if cold showers make people get in shape, totally take cold showers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever you need to do, you know?
It's brutal jumping in that cold
Yeah.
water at first. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. So Trevor, I reference Trevor a lot because we finally started interacting again after like radio silence for years, because he's now into like he's a pretty neat dude. He's into doing things that make him really, really uncomfortable so he can appreciate his comfort in life. So like he lives in Virginia, and like February he's like, I'll jump in this pond so that I can get out and enjoy being warm again, or like things like that.
Does he challenge himself every day?
A lot.
Yeah.
And so I was doing in that Facebook group, I was throwing up like challenges, whether it was like for a week, let's do 100 push-ups a day, or like this week I want you to do a 24-hour no phone fast, things like that. And like when I forgot to throw one up, he's like, dude, where's our challenge? Yeah, things like that. So he's all about that, like challenging yourself to like see how tough you are, because we don't have much in society that challenges us. We don't have to.
True.
We can skate through life if we want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's a lost thing that we need. You know, I think we need that challenge. I think that adversity causes growth, and I think that it's earned. You know, toughness and confidence and all those things are earned or learned, you could say. They're not something like, I'm going to be confident from now on. Like, well, you need to earn confidence. You need to earn toughness. You need to earn resiliency by doing things that challenge you and put you outside your comfort zone and make you be resilient and practice resiliency and toughness. Yeah. So I think that's
love it.
Coming back to the gym. I mean, that's another reason that way. Like if I'm in there and like I'm writing my own programming, kind of, you know what I mean? I got a basic idea. I'm going to use the sandbag and the sled and this, and I'm like, I'm going to do 7 rounds. And I get to round 4 and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, well, I better keep going. Right? Those extra 3 rounds aren't going to do a ton for me physically, but mentally, if I check out of that, and then there's like my daughter. So right now she's really young, but like later, and especially when we're on the road and I'm standing outside at RV with a kettlebell doing these things, she's like, Dad, why'd you stop at 3? You said you're doing 5. It's like, what gives? And I'll be like, I don't know. I was tired. Didn't want to. And then somewhere down the line, she's going to be like, I didn't do that. I didn't want to. You know what I mean? So like setting that example, I think, is a big thing too.
You lead by example.
For yourself and for your kids and for others, especially, man. If I want to be a voice in the fitness industry, I need to hold myself to those standards. So I think what I really want to keep in the forefront is that I'm super busy doing all these things, and I try to show the world, my audience, that I'm not, people have this misconception of like when you get in the fitness industry and you're a coach, that like you just live in the gym. I would be in shape too if I lived in the gym. Like, well, there's a difference, because once you get into the fitness industry and you're coaching and you're really like going after it, you spend less time working out because it's not the first priority.
Because you're helping everybody else.
Totally. So then to be able to like, I can relate to them totally, because I have a full-time workload. I have a family, and it might even be more at times, because as you know, we work outside of that normal window. And then to be able to lead by example and say, listen, I get it. I'm super busy. I sleep typically 6 hours in 3-hour increments, because Hadley will wake up in the middle of the night sometimes still. And I'm super low on sleep, even though I know you should get more sleep, but I make it happen anyway. Listen to my body and I make it happen. And that's what I want people to do.
Right on. What's your long-term goal with Barebone?
I want to be famous, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're
so like
to be like a health fitness guru type thing?
Yeah. So I want people to like,
you want to be like a DDP type of thing?
Yeah. I just, you know, I want people to like, I don't know, be somewhere in a gym that I don't know personally, be chatting about an article or a video I put up, or be like, you know what? I was reading on Barebone Strength the other day that like the X, Y, and Z, or like somebody's off doing my workouts and like benefiting from that. I want people to come back to me and be like, dude, you influenced and impacted my life positively, and I'm a better person for it. Thanks for putting that out there. And somehow it's got to make me an income because let's face it, you need to make money to live. But I would love to own a gym, but I don't want that to have to be my moneymaker because I don't want to have to do things just because the lights need to stay on. I want this internet expansion and audience and everything to somehow generate. I don't know. I don't have all the pieces in place because I don't know what kind of doors are going to open along the way.
True.
But
you never know.
You never know. And I don't want to like shut anything down. But I want that to generate enough that the gym will bring in an income, but I can run it like I want to. So if I get somebody that's like, dude, this is your own money, I'm just so passionate about it. I'm like, all right, listen, sign a contract that you're going to be here 5 days a week and do everything I say. You can come for free. Things I want to be able to do that for people. Yep. Yeah, like scholar people to come in and like get them the best training and get some sweet equipment. It'd probably be a small like warehouse type space. And yeah.
Right on.
I want people to like travel and come train with me, and I go do podcasts and videos with people, and
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Influence and yeah.
Before we get out of here though, you think you'll ever play music again?
Never stopped. Right. So
still diddling?
I'm diddling for Hadley a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like ever since she was a baby, I was like singing to her. Don't ever ask me to sing in public because I'm really not good. But I'll play guitar for her and sing, and like we sing about like what the dog's doing and this, and so now she does it, right? And when she gets a little older, I'm going to teach her guitar, and she already like sings nursery rhymes as I play and stuff now. And yeah, I just went and saw the guys. They played with Nick there.
Follow the Muse.
Follow the Muse. Yeah, they just did a CD release party at a barn, and it was phenomenal. It was so cool. It was like a bunch of people. Everybody's just like, hey, I'm going to wear my flannel because we're going to a barn. And they had like lights strung up, and they played their show. And I think, who's the other band that played?
Was it the Old Main?
Yes.
What was?
Pretty sure it was the Old Main. Yeah.
Love those guys.
Yep. And there was like Wood Fired Pizza by Cafe de Rose out there. And like Woodland Farm came down and put beer on tap. And it was just really cool.
Cool, man.
Neat. So it's cool. I still see those guys all the time too.
Great.
And we'll probably end up going over and jamming 1 or 2 more times before I take off.
Just unleash that creative outlet of yours, right?
Yeah. So I knew that like there wasn't really a big space in my life for that. I couldn't give that enough attention and have enough left over of me to go around for everything else that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So like the only guitar that goes with me right now is I've got a Fender Dobro, a top hat resonator. It's just like a sweet old, got that banjo sound. That's what I got a couple acoustics stored away. I got my electric stored away. Yeah.
Right on, man.
And I got the albums in the truck still. Listen to. Yeah.
It's in your soul, brother.
Yep.
It's definitely in your soul. Ryan Parr, you're truly an influence. You're very inspirational, man. And I'm really enjoying following your journey.
Appreciate it.
And continue success and nothing less. And keep molding minds and doing all the beautiful things you're doing, man. You're a beautiful soul, man. Keep it up,
brother. I really appreciate that.
Keep it up. And where can people find your podcast, and where can they find you on the internet and all that?
So I try to be everywhere, and I try to have my website linked to all of it. I try to connect everything. So if you find me someplace, chances are to lead everywhere else. YouTube stuff, because I don't have enough followers to have like a custom name or whatever. So website will be number 1. I'm going to lead people there first because I own that, and nobody can take that away from me.
Gotcha.
Right? So barebonesstrength.com. Bear is in the animal, BEAR, bones, and then strength.com. And from there, you can get daily training, access to the store for that Utica coffee blend we were talking about, T-shirts, programs, all that, way to contact me. That has links to YouTube, has links to the Facebook group. I am Bare Bones on Facebook. I'm also Ryan Parr on Facebook, on Instagram, it's Bare Bones Strength, at Bare Bones Strength. That's probably where I spend the most time. You'll see the most stuff happening on there. The podcast on iTunes, you can just look for Bare Bones Radio. If you're a SoundCloud type of person, it's the same Bare Bones Radio. The same episodes come out in both of those. I rant a lot on there. So I have guests, but I also do like 5 to 8 minute rants sometimes when I'm driving. I just like say things and post it up too.
All right.
Keep it fresh. Yeah.
Get things off your chest.
Totally. Yeah.
It's a necessity.
Am I anywhere else? I think that's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the podcast. Yeah, that's most of it.
Excellent, man.
Cool. Email, barebonesstrength@gmail.com. Straightforward as I could be. I try to stay the same across all platforms.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If I could get everybody that's watching us right now, do us a quick little favor and click the share button. Click that, and it'll help us out here at the D. And, of course, spread the word of Bare Bones Strength and all the great things that Ryan's doing, man. You're doing some great stuff. And,
thanks,
I could see the future, man. And your future is you're probably going to help some NFL team, get strong.
Cool. Yeah, no,
I
that'd
could
be
see
awesome.
that.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
could
fun.
see you doing that. Like, there's a lot of teams out there that could probably use your help. So.
Yeah. What team do you want me to help? Where's your elite?
To be honest with you, I haven't been watching football at all.
No?
No, I kind of gave up on the NFL. I mean, I watch Syracuse. I love watching college football, but the NFL just, I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm a hockey guy.
I've never been like a fan of a team.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the sport. I enjoy watching it if it's on, but I never actively seek out watching. I just don't have the time and space for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, safe travels, my friend.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch with your journey and stuff. And if you ever want to do this again, please let me know. We can always Skype in. Or
Yeah, totally.
When you're on the road,
yeah.
if you got some funny content you'd like to share, or if you got any kind of an event going on or any kind of promotion, please keep me in mind. Please.
Awesome.
do.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Before we get out of here, I got to give some love and respect out to our sponsors, EJA Moving Company, the professional movers, competitively priced moving. Hit them up today if you're looking to relocate or move your office. They offer complete packing and unpacking service, and they make it easy for you to move and relocate. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com. If you're moving, and if you're moving too, hit up EJA Moving Company and let them do all the work for you, pretty much. Well, you like doing the work.
I think they would move my RV to Colorado and then to California. Like, I can get rid of the truck out there.
Yeah, they might put it on the back.
There.
They might put it on the back of their 18-wheeler and take it out there for you. And
need
just
you to
drop it
move
off
to
for
a
you.
different campground.
Hit up EJA Moving Company today at 315-335-0516. Also, if you stop into the showroom at 5865 Taberg Road in Rome and hang out with the guys at my friends over at NYE Volkswagen in Rome and mention the D, and if you walk in there and say, hey, listen, I know the guys over at Disruption Network. They told me if I come in here, I could get $250 off any purchase. So go in there, let them know that you listen to us, get $250 off any purchase. You can check out their inventory, nyevdubofrome.com. Also, I will be hanging out at NYE tomorrow. We're going to be walking around, probably test driving some cars, probably doing some live Facebooks and stuff like that. So that's going to happen tomorrow morning. Me and Pledging going to be out there for that. So check that out. NYE of Rome. Big ups to my buddy Mike Sacco for believing in the D. And also, big announcement today. In fact, we're going to be cutting a commercial about this in just a little bit, but the D is doing a comedy fundraiser for the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. That's happening Saturday, November the 10th at Wakely's, my old stomping ground, 700 Varick Street in Utica, the old EC. We are being joined by our good friends over at 92.7 The Drive. Genesee Joe is going to host the event. DJ East One is going to be on the turntables. We got performances for Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Courtney Kloos, and our good friend Mike Pileggi. It's pretty easy and simple. You come in, you donate some supplies. They need socks and gloves and hoodies and jackets and stuff like that. So if you come in and donate something, it's absolutely free to get in if you bring some supplies. All the supplies go to the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. And I got to give big ups to our friends over at NYE of Rome for helping us sponsor Paulie's Barbershop, 92.7 FM The Drive, Frank's Guns, and CNY Seal Coating and Concrete. Big ups to those guys. Thank you so much for helping us out with. It's called Thank You for Your Service, You're Welcome. That's what we're dubbing the day as. But it's going to be a comedy thing for the Veterans Outreach Center. Plus, it's the day, 2 days before Veterans Day. The D helping out a lot of causes. And don't forget the Real Men Wear Pink. Donate to our cause. We'll be at Wakely's tomorrow night doing a guest bartending spot, and all our tips will go to our Real Men Wear Pink campaign. So come and hang out with us. Have a couple pops. Hang out with the D crew. We'll be doing some broadcasting from there. And hanging out with all the other real men that wear pink. There's a bunch of guys. A couple guys from Town Square, my friend John Caladona, a whole bunch of people. So that's going to be a good time over at Wakely's. 700 Varick Street. We're doing a lot of things at Wakely's. Doing a lot of things. It's like going back full circle. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's cool too because I love what they did to that place. It looks. Have you been in there at all?
No.
Oh my God, it looks incredible in there. It's all fancy and it looks a lot better than I ever had it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I'll go out for my one drink.
Yeah. Your one drink, of course. Adeline saying tip heavily. Yes, absolutely. Tip heavily. So come on out. Our guest bartending spot at Wakely's tomorrow with the Real Men Wear Pink. We're making strides against breast cancer, and you can help us just by donating to our cause. Thank you so much for listening. I want to remind everybody they can listen to this podcast and previous podcasts of EC Radio and all the content we have here on the D at disruptionnetwork.net. Like us on Facebook, follow, tweet, retweet, subscribe, all that stuff. We're pretty much everywhere on the social medias. So we're easily found, if you will. You can find us anywhere. We're pretty much everywhere. So, yes. And then tomorrow I'll be doing the thing at NYE Volkswagen and over at Wakely's. And then Thursday, Illusionist Leon NTN will be in the house. Looking forward to chopping it up with my own friend Leon. Haven't seen him in a while. In fact, he was here the very second show I did on the D. He came in, and so it'll be good to chop it up and see how much we've grown since then. We used to be in that little room over there, and it was just a small little area, and then we knocked down the walls and expanded. And
now that's where you store the Utica Club.
Now it's where I store the Utica Club. And since you mentioned Utica Club, big ups to our friends over at Saranac Brewery as well. We love those guys as well. Thank you so much, Ryan, for coming in and keep us in the loop on everything that you're doing, man.
Totally,
this is some good stuff that you're doing, so keep up all the great work, man. Thank you so much for coming in, and we will see you tomorrow. See ya.
You know what the hell you're listening to?
It's EC Radio.
We are a generation of lost masculinity, and we got to start getting it back. No matter if you're straight or gay, no matter if you stick it in the front or you stick it in the rear. For the love of our sons, we've got to stick it in there like a man.
EC Radio.
Only on the D.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.